questions, because it's been some time since we've last called up, had a chat, and actually done a Q&A. It's been about 2 years, I believe, since the last Q&A, so there's a lot to be told, a lot to be said, a lot to be learned. So today's going to be a long video, as I have, I think, around 73 questions to get through, even more because a lot of people ask multiple questions. So without further ado, let's get into things. Okay, so I will try my best to pronounce people's names, but YouTube names, it can be kind of crazy, so I will try my best. So Zigzag asks, okay, here's one. If you have travelling plans, which countries would you love to visit? So currently I don't actually have any travelling plans. Typically when I do travel, I always go to Spain because I have family in Spain. So for me, it kind of makes the most sense for me to go to Spain to see my family, and it's typically a lot cheaper as well because I don't have to, fork out for accommodation, hotel, as I just get to go to my family's house. However, there are some places I really would love to go to. I think, a very universal one would be Tokyo, Japan. Would love to go to Japan. China as well. I would actually love to go to China. Just been seeing more clips of China, its landscapes, the cities. It seems really interesting. It really does seem like an interesting place. Other places include Mexico. I would love to go to Mexico because my partner is Mexican, so would love to experience the culture, meet some family. Another place, also a bit more of a personal place, would be Slovakia, for personal reasons, because, fun fact, I'm an IVF baby and the donor was from Slovakia. So yeah, just would be kind of interesting to go, just, yeah, I don't know, just a bit of fun really. So yeah, currently no travelling plans, but if I did, those would kind of be the plans if I did have any. Libro asks, sorry, my phone's really far away and I can't really read the names, asks, what have you been up to? Work. This whole last year has just been taken up my time by work. Yeah, nothing too interesting. Bin Soy asks, what got you into ASMR? Great question. I think what got me into ASMR was actually parody videos. I saw people post these videos, so I guess making fun of ASMR, and this is kind of before it was even really big, so it was still quite a niche community where the big ASMR artists would have like only 100,000 subscribers. In today's numbers that's like completely blown up, but yeah, if you had 100,000 subscribers you was considered big. So that's sort of when I got into ASMR, and yeah, I didn't really know what these creators were really making fun of, so I searched up ASMR and I found the channel Whispers Red, who is a fellow British ASMR YouTuber. She is fantastic. I'm not even sure if she still makes content. I haven't really checked out her channel in a while, but I found her videos, and it was specifically a role-playing video. I believe it was an ear cleaning video, and I remembered I would just have that video on repeat constantly just because I was so infatuated by the sounds and the response I felt to that video. And for quite a while it was only that video that I watched, and then I started to, I guess, branch out into other creators, other videos, and yeah, that's sort of just how I got into ASMR. Nothing too crazy really. Tactidus 900 asks, do you wish UK to rejoin the EU? Well, hitting with the hard and heavy questions, but no, yeah, I think it's always fun to ask someone's political beliefs. So do I wish the UK to rejoin the EU? Now, I was too young to vote in this referendum. I think I was like maybe very young teens when this all happened. And I'm very uninformed on the topic. I've never gone back to do research on what really would have happened and the cause of effects of leaving or remaining in the EU. I do think ultimately I would decide to return and remain in the EU. I do Dash Choose Cardboard asks, can you please do another ASMR? You're in my fridge. That last one was so good, and it's so tingly when the creator speaks to us and gives us personal attentions in videos. I think you may be the first person ever to ask me to redo that video. That was one of, I think, the most strange videos I've done. A very on-the-fly video idea that I had. So I'm glad you like the execution. So maybe we need to do another ASMR You're in my fridge, because I still have that mini fridge. I can still do it. I can go and film it right now if we need to. So yeah, definitely, I'll add it to the list. So go with Vila. I butchered that, apologies. Hey B-Tech, I love your ASMR, thank you. And you're a great ASMR artist, thank you. Do you like Super Mario video games and the Sonic the Hedgehog games? If so, what's your favourite video game and character from those two franchises? Now, I do play the Super Mario games, love the Super Mario games, the Sonic games. I have no idea, I've never played any of the Sonic games. I know people absolutely love like the Sonic Adventure games on the Wii. I never had them. I was never exposed to them as a child, and yeah, they were just never in my childhood. The Mario games, however, love the Mario games, and I think I have to go with Mario Odyssey. I think it's just the best of Mario that's ever been, and I'm so excited to see what they do next with Odyssey. You know, if they keep on the Odyssey tracks, people are predicting it will be another Odyssey 2, kind of like a Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 situation. It does seem to make the most sense. Yeah, other games I do really like. Mario, I guess a combination game actually would be Mario and Sonic, specifically the London 2012 Olympic Games game. I played that so much with my sister when I was younger. Like, we would wake up at the weekends, just play some Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. So much fun, so much fun. Yeah, other games would include 64 on the DS, Galaxy 2. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, Mario & Rabbids was a pretty good game. So yeah, a great, amazing catalogue for Mario. Dalton Dash asks, what made you want to come back to YouTube and make videos again? And also asks, can we get a spit painting, mouth sounds and hand movements plug-in video again? Those are some of the best triggers on your channel. So yeah, to answer your first question, what made me come back to YouTube? I just missed it so much, and I missed all of you so much. I think it was really that longing of connection again, which sounds very parasocial. Sort of drew me back to wanting to create content, and I was in such a creative drought, and I was for an entire year just deprived of any creative source or income. My job didn't allow me to be creative or as creative as I wanted to be, and so it really left me having an itch just for more. So yeah, having that itch for a year kind of drives you insane a little bit. So yeah, I just think it was that combination that really drew me back to coming back to YouTube. And can we get another spit painting and mouth sounds and movement? Yes, definitely. When I was away, these were some of my most popular videos. You guys seem to love them, so I definitely think a new spit painting mouth sounds video is very, very much needed. So thank you for the question. Hey, Michael asks, different question, but I was wondering, I remember you posted about reviewing / roasting our Letterboxd profiles. Will you make a video about it, or did I miss that video of yours on the channel? Great question, great question. I'm surprised you remembered. I do remember putting a post out about this, and I really regret not getting around to doing it, because I made you guys send, your Letterboxd, and I never did it, so I feel like I've done a bit of a disservice, and so I would love to rebrand that and actually make that video. So I'm not sure if I should just go back to the old ones that were sent to me, or put out like a new post for it, but definitely want to get around to making that video, because I think it could be so much fun. Alfrabio, sorry, I've butchered your name so much. Main role / character on Overwatch 2, favourite most annoying hero, and why is it May? Great questions. Love Overwatch. So my main role, I think in Overwatch 2, I sort of flexed a lot. I just played all roles. Once I got a role to a new rank, I'll just swap to the next role, rank them up. Next role, rank them up. So I got all roles to master rank. I think maybe like mid masters, but I would primarily call myself a tank and support main. Those were the two that I really played the most, and I think specifically in Overwatch 2, I definitely was leaning and gearing more towards a support role. Favorite alt. I think if you asked me in Overwatch 1 days when I first started playing, I would say Junkrat's Riptide easily. But let me think. Favorite alt. It does feel super satisfying just getting a massive Death Blossom and the aura you get from it. Death Blossom would definitely be up there. I'm trying to think of the other heroes, and what other heroes did I play? I played Sigma. Craft on Surge is cool, but it's not like... No, Craft on Surge is... sorry. Flux. Graphitic Flux is... Sigma's. It's cool, but not my favourite. Oh, I'm trying to think of like the support heroes now as well. The supports don't normally have the most exciting ultimates. But we'll just go with Riptide, just because it's fun. Most annoying hero, I definitely think would be... It's not May. I actually didn't mind playing against May. I never found May annoying. There was like, I know there's this massive community hatred for May, but I never resonated with it. I just found her to be quite a non-problematic character, in my opinion. Characters I did find annoying. Sombra, yeah, definitely. Sombras were a pain to deal with, because it was just an unfair situation and fight. Just dip in, dip out, dip in, dip out. Didn't feel great. Kiriko is kind of annoying, to be fair, to go against. I think maybe they might have fixed her now. I haven't played it in a while. But yeah, we'll go Sombra. Mitchell C7 asks, do you support a football team with a football, as in a soccer ball emoji? Now, I do not watch any league football, so I'm in the UK. I do not watch the Premier League. I do, however, watch American football, and I watch the NFL, and the team I support are the Green Bay Packers. I have somewhere, hold on. Green Bay Packers hat. So this is actually mine. This is my partner's hat. But yeah, this is confirmation of the team that I support, and it's the Green Bay Packers. So originally it started out as a bit of a joke of supporting the Green Bay Packers, but then this year all of a sudden I just got really into American football and just really heavily started following the Green Bay Packers, and we had an amazing week 1 game against the Lions, looking really strong, really dominant, so I think it's going to be a great season. A Bear 5844 asks, which UK political party do you most align with? Again, hitting with the heavy political questions. I love them. So yeah, great question. So just to be absolutely transparent as possible, I did vote in the last election, and I voted for the Liberal Democrats. Now, a lot of people do roll their eyes at that and sort of scoff at voting Liberal Democrats just because they have the, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, essentially Lib Dems that are so all over the place, they never align with any political values, so it's sort of like made fun of that. They kind of get nowhere in Parliament, and there is truth to that, you know. If for a longest time they have been so centrist, that's sort of like, what's even the point of them? But in recent years they have started to become a lot more left-leaning, more left, I would say, than Labour, and that's sort of why I voted Lib Dems. I wasn't in love with Keir Starmer and Ed Davey. I just thought Ed Davey was just such a charismatic man, and I saw him as a real true leader. So for me it was between the Lib Dems or the Green Party, because my thought process when voting in the last general election was who can become an opposition to Labour. For me, it wasn't making Labour in power, it was about actually making the Conservatives have even less power and make them not even the second party to Labour. And it's very interesting, the political landscape in the UK right now, how we've actually finally broken away from the two-party system, which is amazing, a massive turnaround in the political space. So really exciting time, I think, but also a dangerous time where more extremist, solutions are around, which is worrying. It's very worrying. But yeah, no, most aligned with, I would say, would be Green or Lib Dems. And yeah, the place that I live, the place I reside, is actually green. The council is green, one of the few green councils out there. So yeah, it's a proud place. Isabel asks, how is your job going? Job's going. It's going. I won't be saying too much about my job. But it's okay. It's okay. Amy Ross 23 asks, what are some of your favourite songs and artists right now, and what made you come back to YouTube? So glad you're back. So in terms of what made me come back, just how much I missed you guys and how much I just had a creative itch. And what are some of my favourite songs and artists? Great question. I think for artists, it's just list on the top of my head. It would be JPEG Mafia. It would be Magdalena Bay. It would also be McKinley Dixon. It would be Little Sims. It would be Gorillaz. Calero, why not? Charlie XCX. You know what, let's open up Spotify. Let's see, actually, my Spotify is probably the best place to go. If we just go what I'm listening to, Lauve as well, of course. Pink Panthers, how could I forget? Kendrick Lamar, of course. Denzel Curry, Jordy Grebe as well, was some other recently liked songs that I have. Jid as well. Some from some Fred again. In terms of actual favourite songs at the moment, so Recitative by McKinley Dixon featuring Tyler Banks is a phenomenal song. Just the production, the vocal performance, I love everything about that song. We also have Lotus by Little Sims. Lotus might be the best song of the year. I think Little Sims' new album is easily an album of the year contender, along with McKinley Dixon's Magic Alive. I would say Magic Alive. Yeah, the Little Sims, that's I think number one for me right now, with McKinley Dixon being a extremely close second. Another song that I'm loving at the moment is What the Hip Hop Hell Is This by JPEG Mafia. Magic Alive by McKinley Dixon. Cry For Me, Magdalena Bay, I still have that playing on loop. Walking, Denzel Curry. Sugar on My Tongue by Tyler the Creator. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Also still listening to Tyler the Creator. Just a really fun dance album he released recently, so Sugar on My Tongue, great song. And still have Holy Holy by Jordy Grebe on repeat. So yeah, that's sort of a look and insight to my music preference. Oh, sorry, there we are. I've just lost all of the comments. Just scrolling back down. Okay, let's just. Okay, here we go. So thank you very much for the question. So just get back to the questions. Okay, so Kaya 8002 asks, are you planning to upload your content to Spotify? Short answer, no. I haven't had any thought about uploading my content to Spotify. I think for now, I just kind of want to get back into the rhythm of things with YouTube before really trying to do too much at once. If the opportunity arises in the future, I definitely wouldn't, say no to it. I think it's something to consider for the future, but for now, no, we're just going to keep things pretty basic. case I can just upload everything here to YouTube. MBSD asks, have you continued One Piece? If so, what arc are you on? I absolutely love this question. Thank you so much for asking it, because it allows me to ramble on about One Piece, and I love talking about One Piece. So yes, I did continue watching One Piece, and sorry, I've just lost all of the comments again. Sorry, I know this isn't great. So comments. Sorry, I'm on airplane mode, so it's struggling a little bit, I think. Okay, apologies. So yes, I have continued watching One Piece. I did take around a 6-month break from watching when I started my job last year in January, and that sort of bled into the time where the One Piece anime also was taking a break. So it wasn't good that I was taking a break alongside the actual anime taking a break, because that would be the pivotal time and opportunity to catch up. So that's not great. But yes, I did start watching again back in, I think, around January this year, and I am on Wano country, so I'm getting there. I'm getting near the end. I am on Act 3 of Wano. I like a good couple of episodes into Act 3, which is not even halfway through the whole Wano arc itself, so still got a lot of the arc left itself. But yeah, I'm hoping to catch up before Egghead ends. So yes, almost caught up. Definitely think I can catch up by the end of the year. Really hoping to catch up before Egghead ends. And I think with all of like these special episodes and weekly delays, I definitely think I'll be able to catch up to Egghead. Just because it seems the pacing right now of Egghead is absolutely abhorrent. So yeah, really excited to continue my One Piece journey. Sam asks, I really love your accent. It's given more relaxation to me. Are you British? Yes, I am British, born and raised in England. Joe asks, do you have sometimes experience anxiety or negative feelings? If so, how do you cope with them? Yeah, good question, really good question. I think everyone experiences anxiety or negative feelings in some form or extent. I find the best way I deal with it probably isn't the best solution or the right solution, but for me it's distraction based. And again, I know it's not the healthiest way to deal with anxiety or these really heavy negative feelings, but for me it really helps when I just do something that I love. For me, One Piece, just watching something you love has helped me through so much and get me through, some tough bits. And it's stupid to say because it's a TV show, it's a cartoon, it's an anime, but just doing something you love, especially if it's with other people. Like again, board games. I love playing board games, and board games are a great way for me to be able to just block out everything that's happening and just spend hours just in this contained little world of this board game with my friends, sharing experience. And yeah, it can really just uplift you and kind of make you forget about things. So yeah, the way I kind of deal with things is distraction based, which again, really not that healthy. But I think for sort of a short term solution, it can be beneficial. So I do think there's some upsides to it as well. Jerry's asks, do you support a football team? If so, who's your favourite player? So again, I do support the Green Bay Packers, and I'm just getting to know the team. I do feel a bit fraudulent because I say I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, but I only just started watching them this year, so I hardly know the team at all. However, some key players that I've been loving: Jordan Love, no pun intended, Jordan Love, the quarterback, an amazing player. The running back, Josh Jacobs. I think the running back might be my favourite position. So yeah, I really love how Josh Jacobs plays. We got the new player, Micah Parsons. That was a crazy trade when that happens. just the whole NFL scene just went crazy when that happened last week. And of course, wide receiver Golden as well. He showed up the last game. So yeah, those some players are kind of standing out to me right now. Craft as well. ML6820 asks, can you do a longer video, cozy vibes and aimed at sleep? Love your channel. Definitely, I think a great video for this may be a longer guided sleep video, because I think most of my guided sleep's around like 20 minutes, so maybe we could do like a longer 40-minute one. That could help out a lot of people, so definitely can. Guada asks, hello, I actually don't know if someone asked you this before, but what's your name? If you feel comfortable sharing, of course. I do feel comfortable. My name is Ethan. Yeah, fun fact, I was named after Ethan Hunt from the Mission Impossible series. So yeah, and I never watched an Mission Impossible film until this year. So it took me 23 years of my life to actually see where my name was from, which is crazy. Galactic Toad asks, if you wrote a book or made a movie, what would it be about? So glad you're back. Love everything you do. Thank you so much, and a great question. I think this is definitely a tough one to answer. So I think it would be a movie, of course. For me being a massive movie fan, and I was talking to my partner recently, and she says that I absolutely love films that have some sort of prophecy, and like prophecy type stuff like Dune or The Dark Crystal for a random pool, or something like Star Wars. I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan, but it has that prophecy type of story. So I think I would make a movie around this prophecy type character. Or if we're talking on a creative level, I love puppetry. I love puppet-based films. I think we need more of them. I'm so excited for the next Labyrinth film that Robert X is doing. I think that's going to be phenomenal. So maybe I might do a puppet-based film in that dark fantasy vibe. I just think it suits puppetry so incredibly well. I think with the production costs that we have nowadays, I think it's definitely more achievable than when it was really trying to be pushed back in like the 70s and 80s. Because I was so bummed when they cancelled the Dark Crystal Netflix TV series. The amount of potential that had was immense, and yeah, it's a shame. So I'd probably make a puppet movie, probably. Ethan Jones, good name, asks, what is one creative decision that you made with this channel that caused a positive effect on it? Great question. So a creative decision. So I could say, a type of video that I put up, that's not really a creative decision. You know what, I will say, back when I was recording videos on my laptop for thumbnails, I was just taking a screen grab, like one of the recommended thumbnail screen grabs that YouTube recommends, just from the video, just a moment of me like smiling or like looking at the camera. But then I think just before I went to uni, or at some point, I actually can't remember, but a little later on, I started to take thumbnails with my phone instead, but still have the recording be from the laptop, so the thumbnails were of better quality and a better ratio aspect than previously, and I think that sort of helped grab people's attention more. It was definitely putting more effort into the thumbnails rather than just relying on screen grabs. So I know that's not really, much of a, it's a no-brainer. Of course, thumbnails are gonna have a positive effect on your channel, but I think, yeah, just personally, just even just taking a photo, even with no editing, and just making it just better quality, helped out my channel immensely. So yeah, that's probably a great decision that really did help out the channel. Mo asks, why did you stop making videos? Short answer, I got a job and it took up a lot of my time. It's Meti asks, have you heard of Labubu's? And if so, what are your thoughts on them? Personally, I think they're so ugly, they're cute. I just don't support the the overconsumption of them. They're not worth the hype, but they're ugly cute. Yeah, good question, good relevant trend question. For me, I do not like Labubu's. I'm not obviously the target demographic, and I just don't really get them. I definitely think I don't know, it's just another trend fad. I think, it'll come and go. I've only ever seen actually one person with a Labubu before. So yeah, I just think, sure, if people want to, like them and whatnot, I just think it got too silly of how big they got on social media. But at the end of the day, I'm not consuming them, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on them personally. Fletcher3416 asks, do you watch sports? If so, who's your favourite player? So again, the Green Bay Packers. I feel like a lot of people asked about sports. So yeah, Green Bay Packers. Do you, Honeybee Fly asks, how do you feel knowing that your loyal subscribers were patiently waiting for your new video, even though you've been away for almost a year? I feel really bad. Like, genuinely, I felt like did such a disservice to all of you who were patiently waiting, commenting, and still watching this channel all this time. I felt like I quite frankly didn't deserve it, because I did abandon the channel for a year, and that's the way to put it. It was an abandonment. So I just feel so guilty and bad just leaving you all like that when I didn't even say anything. Like, nothing was said. It was just sort of lights out on the channel for all that time. So I just think I feel upon my heart, just appreciate every single one of you that stuck around. Your loyalty is just amazing. So thank you all. Pink baby. Sorry, I'm really struggling reading these names. Okay, I've seen the comments asking, do you support a football team? Which I'm also interested in, but why do you support that football team? Come on, Chelsea brackets, they say. So why do I support the Green Bay Packers? I did mention briefly that it started out as a joke, and this sort of joke stemmed from my partner's hat, which I just showed you, the Green Bay Packers hat. She had it, and I was just joking. Oh yeah, let's be Green Bay Packers fans, let's watch NFL, that's cool. And then I watched a couple of the Super Bowls, and I realised, wait, this sport is actually pretty cool. It's actually really interesting and engaging sport, and I really started to like the tactical nature of it that some sport, football, typical football, just doesn't have. Of course, football is tactical, but not to the lengths and extremes of American football. And I think that's sort of what I preferred, where it just wasn't raw physical ability, but also the playmaking and the decision making had such a large effect and knock-off on the game that I really appreciate. So yeah, that's all what got me into American football. And I guess I do have a friend whose family is from Wisconsin. Of course, Green Bay is in Wisconsin, so that's like one of the connections I have to America. It's a very loose connection, but whatever. Darkling04 asks, how have you been and what were you up to the past year? So I've been good, just working in marketing, just getting some good experience here and there. So it's been good. Why did you stop making videos? Yeah, just working. Last time around you said you were done with trigger-based videos and wanted to focus your videos on your hobbies. What made you change back? Post whatever, I'm just curious. Great question and great memory. I'm surprised anyone remembered me saying that, so amazing memory. Yeah, again, great question. So what made me change my mind about posting trigger-based videos, like you said, and moving away, basically backtracking on what I said? I just think I missed my channel as a whole, and a large part of my channel, and what made it what it is. What were these type of videos, these trigger videos, these sounds based videos, these role plays that people loved and gravitated towards so much? So yeah, and I think for me, coming back is sort of a restart for me, and just getting back into what I was doing 4 or 5 years ago. So that's sort of what made me backtrack a little bit. I still will do my hobby videos, so gaming, board games, reading. They will definitely come. They will come back to the channel. So I think for me, it's like realizing that I can have a balance. You know, I can do these videos along with my interest and hobbies videos. So yeah, it's the best of both worlds, I think. Do you still read, and what's your favourite book? I have not read in a long time. I'm still trying to get through Dune. I've been trying to get through that for like over a year now. It's ridiculous how long I've been going through that for. In terms of my favourite book, this is going to sound really sad, but it's actually Chainsaw Man Volume Number 9. That's my favourite book. Very sad for those who know. The next question is, are you still enjoying work at Amazon, and do you see yourself there for the rest of your career? Work, admittedly, is frustrating. I won't get into too much information about that. And do you see yourself there for the rest of your career? No. Short answer, no. I will not be further explaining, unfortunately. Do you still plan on moving to London if you haven't already? Yes and no. I do plan to move to London, but not for the reasons of me working at Amazon. There's some developments happening in my personal life, and we'll see. If they do happen, I will tell you guys about them in the near future, so we'll just have to wait and see. And are you happy with how your life is going? Now, I am. Yes, I am happy with how life is going. If what I'm trying to do works out, then I will be very, very happy with how life is going, and it will mean that I get to work on this channel a lot more. So again, just gotta wait and see. Gotta wait and see if I can give you guys some big updates soon. ASMR Glitch asks, what movies have you seen recently? Well, the most recent film that I watched was The Green Knight. I watched this last night, and safe to say, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I truly appreciate it on a production and costume design level, but just the story itself, I just did not find it engaging at all, and I found it to be very, I don't like using the word boring to describe films, because it's very, I don't like describing films as boring, but it just wasn't my cup of tea, I don't think. Other films are Lady Vengeance. I rewatched Lady Vengeance the other night. Absolutely love that film. It's one of my it's one of my favourites of all time. Top 4 on Letterboxd. Love that film. Other films are Pride and Prejudice. I watched that fully complete for the first time in all my life. There were some good things about the movie. Some other things I wasn't completely a fan of, namely the actual chemistry and relationship between the characters. I just didn't feel the tension, as everyone else does when watching the film. It just wasn't there for me, unfortunately. But there's plenty to like about that movie. Another one being Emma as well, another Jane Austen adaptation. So yeah, seen a bit of a variety recently. Writer's Realm asks, how old are you? I am 23 years old. What career do you want? Ideally something along the lines of advertising, marketing, social media content creation, something along those lines. I'm still learning, so yeah, still much to learn, still much to discover, so who knows what I'll end up doing. What do you think about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift engagement? Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it would have happened. I was like banking on it happening at a Super Bowl, but yeah, I guess they couldn't do this year's, namely because, well, obviously they lost, so can't really enjoy an engagement after a loss like that. But yeah, cool. Not much else to say about it. And are you Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah? The love debate about from the Summer I Turned Pretty TV show. Now, I don't watch the Summer I Turned Pretty. However, my partner has has said for me to say Team Conrad, and I don't know why. Team Conrad, I guess. Thank you for the questions. Liam Development asks, will you ever do bloody shorts again, mate? I will, and I do plan on doing shorts again, so you just gotta wait, just be a little bit more patient with me, that you will get them again, you will get them. 2052C asks, Ethan, welcome back, how is Amazon going? There's been some developments recently with Amazon and Live, and I think I'll share them in more details in a future update video, so stay tuned for that. Addison asks, what do you like would you like to do in your spare time to have fun? Great question, because I love talking about my hobbies. One of the biggest ones obviously being making content. I see it as more of a hobby than a job of any sort. So obviously making content with you guys, for you guys, interacting with you guys as well. Another big one is playing games. I love playing loads and loads of games. Watching films as well, and another big one is something that I try to do as much as possible, but something that's sort of fallen out of my routine recently, and that is playing board games. I have recently got back into a sort of like a weekend like routine of playing board games with my friends. So yeah, I love board games. This week I'm playing Root, which I'm really looking forward to. Last week I played Castles of Burgundy. Yeah, really excited to play more board games. Tacticus 900 asks, do you like the Sandman series? Funny enough, I'm currently watching the Sandman series. I'm near the end of season 2. I think I'm on episode 10 or 11 or something like that. And I think with the Sandman series, I do like it, but I think I like the potential and the idea of the Sandman universe rather than how it is actually executed, because the series does have a big problem with like pacing, especially season 1. Season 1 was very up and down. You had some great high moments, some great singular episodes, but then you had these really dragging, just uneventful middling episodes, and they kind of muddied throughout the series. That kind of dampened the experience a lot. Season 2 has been a lot more stronger with its continuity in the strength and its pacing. It's kind of dragging towards the tail end of the season, which isn't brilliant, because I have mostly enjoyed season 2 for the most part. Who knows? I'll have to give further thoughts and opinions on it when I actually finish the season. Mr. Jetix asks, if you weren't living in the UK, where would you like to live? Well, I think firstly I have to say Mexico, because obviously my partner is from Mexico, so Mexico would be one of them. Would love to go there at some point. Another place to live. Now this is sort of different to answering on holiday, isn't it? I think to live one of the Scandinavian countries. You know, you've got Finland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. The quality of life there is always said to be the best there. Obviously expensive, but if, say, we didn't have expenses to keep in mind, I think one of those countries would definitely fit the bill. Definitely. A Legend Uber 21 asks, if you work out, what is your schedule? Very easy question. I don't work out. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very skinny and lanky, and I don't work out. Do you play any sports or watch any sports? Now, I don't play any sports. When I was younger, I did used to do a lot of running events and district, so at school I was always invited to compete in district school events, so I would partake in that 100 metre, 200 metre events. Never won. I was never that good, just because my school never practiced, and there's some schools that take it really seriously, like they'll be practicing weeks up until the event, and for me it was kind of just, show up on the day, give it a run. My school wasn't really too bothered when it came to sports. I used to do like park runs every weekend as well, and then I just all fell out of the routine of running as I grew older, which is a shame really, because it is a fun hobby, and it's a good thing to stay active, so I've always thought of getting back into it, but never actually taken action on it. Do I watch any sports? Yes, American football. I do watch American football, and the Green Bay Packers had an amazing game last night. Favourite song right now, This is asked by Shawn Mendes, by the way. Who knows if it's the Shawn Mendes? Probably not. Favourite song? Recitative by McKinley Dixon. Lotus by Little Sims. Two just phenomenal songs. Yeah, I'll say those two right now are the top of my playlist. Mr. Jetix back with another question. As a Kanye West fan, how do you feel about Taylor Swift? And I wonder, big reference with I wonder, what do you think of his strange behaviour? Good question. What do I think about Taylor Swift? I have nothing against Taylor Swift. Like, I feel like, I don't know, people assume Kanye West fans religiously hate Taylor Swift, but no, her music just isn't for me. But absolute respect to her creating the Eras tour and the kind of the economic boom it kind of had on the US economy. Not the boom, but you know, the positive impact it's had. And yeah, no, respectable, really respectable. Would I call myself a Kanye West fan now? I don't think so. I especially, like you said, with his strange behaviour, his behaviour over the course of many plethora of years have led me to really dislike him. Before it was kind of like, oh, you know, yeah, he says comments here and there, you know, take it or leave it as you want. But now it's hard to dismiss what he says. And but yes, listening to a lot less to Kanye West recently. Just haven't found myself returning to his music as much. So yeah, definitely listening to a lot of other artists instead. Riley, sorry, I definitely mispronounced that. If you could only ever listen to 3 music artists for the rest of your life, who would you choose and why? So staying on the theme of music, I think artist number 1, possibly JPEG Mafia. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of variation. He's very talented producer. Definitely my favourite artist as of right now. And I think I would also have to go with, I feel like you'd have to go with different like genres. Gorillaz, easily Gorillaz. Gorillaz have the most versatile, I think, discography out there. They deal with all sorts of genres, so you'll never get bored listening to Gorillaz. So yeah, if whatever music need you have, they will suit the bill. And I think for my last one, for some reason I have Electric Light Orchestra in my head as a bit of like more of like a dance disco sort of vibe to bring along. So hey, I will say that JPEG Mafia, Gorillaz and Yellow. Yeah, then we'll go over them through. Randadale asks, who is your favourite film director and what are your thoughts on the likes of Tarantino, Fincher and Spielberg? Great question. My favourite director of all time is Park Chan-wook, who's been mentioned earlier in this video, but not namely. He made the film Lady Vengeance as well as Handmaiden, Old Boy, Jesse, Thirst, Stoker, Decision to Leave, and most recently No Other Choice coming out this year. Just easily my favourite director of all time. Just his films are just so expertly crafted. Everything about them, there's so much attention and care put into them, from the sound, the editing as well. Editing this film is phenomenal. The script, dialogue, cinematography, everything about his films are perfection to me. And my thoughts on the likes of Tarantino, Fincher and Spielberg, the American greats. Now, I'm not much of an American greats fan. I've only ever seen one Tarantino film, and that was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Fincher, I've seen Zodiac. Did he also do Social Network? Maybe, I can't actually remember. Spielberg, I honestly don't know if I've even seen the Spielberg film. So like these known as the classics, you know, the grandfathers of film almost. I don't know, when it comes to my exploration of cinema, I sort of just choose what interests me, not really what is recognised as the best, the best subjectively, obviously because the best can't be objective. So yeah, I guess my interest has never really swayed swayed their direction, but who knows? I might check out their discographies later in more depth. AJ does stuff ASMR. Asks, what's your dream collab? It's me, I know, JK. My dream collab. I've never really thought about my dream collab because I'm not much of a collab person. Which is a shame. I would like, to I guess get myself involved more with the ASMR community and talk to other creators. I just don't think I really know how to approach that sort of community. In the past I've collaborated with the likes of Dido ASMR, great collab, great guy. He's doing amazing things right now. Who else have I collaborated with? That might be it, to be honest. I don't know if I've collaborated with anyone else. Yeah, that might be it, to be honest. I think just from like a viewer standpoint, I think my collab I would quite like to do is with the ASMR gamer, just because he's my favourite ASMR artist, one of my favourite YouTubers in general. So yeah, to do a video with him would be kind of cool. It's just a thing of, well, what would it really do? Are we just creating a collab for the sake of creating a collab? So yeah, I don't know. Collab's a bit of a weird zone for me. I just don't really know how to approach it. But good question. I mean, obviously you have the likes of Jojo ASMR. Going to his studio that he built recently, White Noise, would be an incredible experience. So something like that as well would be the top of my list. Do you still drink G Fuel? Not as much, to be honest. I haven't bought any within the last year. I've been poisoning my body with Monster instead. So yeah, just moving from one trash to another, really. Most exciting thing you've done in your absence? I guess just sort of. It sounds sad, but build my career. I guess. Because again, in my absence, I've just been working. Obviously, I've done like other things, like just hang out with my friends, my partner, and do stuff like that. So yeah. Is Patreon coming back? I want to resub. I was the first person to request a members video. It was the phone tapping and mouth sounds. Throwback. Well, thank you very much for signing up to the Patreon all the way back and being the first person to ever request a video. That is actually amazing. So, when it comes to Patreon, no, Patreon will not be coming back, unfortunately. However, I do have plans for something else instead, and you can probably guess what it is. But there may be something coming along down the line later this month, hopefully. If not later this month, hopefully sometime next month, I should be able to give you guys some more updates, information, details regarding extra stuff. So keep your eyes out. Andy SF asks, hey Andy, will you be doing stuff on Patreon again? So again, Andy, thank you for the question. So yeah, just like my answer with the last question, so there are plans to do things. Maybe some YouTube stuff, member stuff. But we just have to wait and see until things are finalised with what I want to have done for it. So stay tuned. Maisie Wright asks, who is your favourite music artist at the moment? That will be JBeck Mafia. What's favourite song at the moment? Recididav by McKinley Dixon. How is your job going? It's interesting. It's an interesting situation. And again, I will share more information within the coming weeks about my job and my current life situation. So keep your eyes out. What videos do you plan to make in the future? Well, right now I'm just sort of going with the flow with things. I don't really have a concrete plan. YouTubers will have like video plans, like months down the line. For me, I don't have many plans. It's really just reading comments, seeing what you guys want to see, and just creating it. So sort of videos I want to make, being role plays. I'd love to do a lot more role plays, put more effort into them as well. Maybe start using the green screen again, because it was really, really fun using the green screen. And yeah, just trick videos, just an interesting variety I want to put out, and I want to start doing more gaming videos as well. Start mixing again more of my hobbies and interest into the mix. So we'll see. Have you got any more shoes? Brackets, will there be another shoe collection So unfortunately, there won't be any more shoe collection videos down the line. I think, though, I would like to do a recap shoe collection video, just going over some of my favourites, which could be quite fun. Or go over a specific genre collection like Jordans or Yeezys. I don't really like Yeezys anymore, but maybe we could do something like that. Bajura asks, what's your favourite ASMR video you have done? Ooh, now, I could say something like the ASMR Museum, something that was actually filmed in real life and more of like an experience thing that I got to share with you guys, and definitely I think the most unique video on my channel, just because I don't think another creator did a video about the ASMR Museum, so that could definitely be one of them. Again, as well, with like ASMR in the quietest room, you know, albeit not the most unique video concept anymore. It feels like a lot of ASMR YouTubers have done a ASMR in the world's quietest room video now. But those are, I guess, some of my more experimental and interesting videos. But in terms of what I've enjoyed doing the most, now I've just realised my ring light is probably pretty dim, so apologies about that. You should probably, yeah, there we are. That's a little bit better. Apologies. I kind of forgot to test. Anyways, I really do enjoy the gaming videos. I've been trying to rattle around the videos I've done, and the gaming, like the R6 video, always, or videos that I've done, keep circling back in my mind. So maybe the gaming Rainbow Six Siege videos. What else? Yeah, we'll go with those. We'll go with that selection. Okay, so thank you for the question. Demonic Spaghetti asks, do you play any instruments? If not, what would you like to learn if you had to? Unfortunately, I don't know how to play any instruments. However, I do remember when I was younger, I really wanted to learn the saxophone for whatever reason, and I even signed up for lessons. Like I did them, but I didn't have a saxophone to practice, so it was really pointless. But yeah, I guess now the piano seems like an interesting instrument to learn. Piano, definitely. Yeah, saxophone and piano, maybe. Alexi, sorry. Again, I really struggle with names. Do you have apps? And can we see? So, no, I don't have apps. And no, you can't see because there's nothing to see. Darren asks, do you have a Letterboxd? Would love to follow you on that. I do have a Letterboxd. Now, I believe my name on it is YTT, like the director, Taika Waititi. Not that Taika Waititi is my favourite director, nor do I really like him anymore. It's just the username that I settled on. So search up YTT, and my profile picture is of Reiner from Attack on Titan, so see if you can follow me. And XX Alexi also asks by ? So interesting questions. No, I'm not bi. I'm straight. And then Janeade, there we are, Janeade, sorry, Janeade2248 asks, do you have a girlfriend? And I do have a girlfriend. Katiana asks, Kitana Hearts asks, why do you hate Corpse Bride? Brackets, your opinion is wrong, by the way. Good question. Why do I hate Corpse Bride? I remember when I watched it, I just found it incredibly boring. I really do not like Tim Burton as a director. I think he's one of my least favourite directors. I really do not like his vibe, his aesthetic, his writing style, the way he explores his characters. I find it all to be very flat and uninteresting. Not to say that it is flat and uninteresting, it's just my personal preference. Of course, if you like Tim Burton, that's great. It's more for you. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could like Tim Burton and his style and the way he crafts his world it's just really not for me at all. But yeah, there's no particular reason. I watched it years ago, and maybe I should rewatch it. Maybe I should rewatch it and give it another shot, because I might like it more. Valentino Vera asks, yay, you're back. Question number 1. What are some bucket list items to check off before I turn 18 in 2 years? Well, coming from a very boring person, I didn't do much before I was 18. I guess, oh god, you know what, don't even stress about it. There's nothing you need to do before you turn 18, because you have your whole life to live. So don't try and rush anything before you turn 18. Just sort of do things at your own pace. No point, I think, trying to get yourself too deep into things or dive early into things. Just do what you want to do at a natural time and course. I think that's the most fun way to sort of enjoy things and enjoy life. So don't force yourself to do anything before you turn 18 that you don't want to. Adele1222 asks, what advice would you give someone starting uni, moving in, etc.? Brackets, I know you left uni, so maybe not the best person to look for advice. Actually, I disagree. I think I'm the perfect person to ask advice for, because I can tell you exactly not what to do. So I can tell you not what to do, what I did. I think the first thing out of anything is just look for groups, look for societies. For whatever reason, I didn't look to sign up to any societies, and I think this was my number one biggest mistake. I don't know if I didn't know they existed, or I missed out on like the look around event for societies, but I never engaged in any of them, and I really missed out a lot from just meeting people with similar interests and hobbies, and creating so many connections. I think they seem to be an amazing way of really finding your place at uni. So yeah, definitely number 1. Number 2 is get out of your room. Just get out of there. I was in my room for so much of university. Just even if you're just going into the kitchen, at least you know you'll bump into your housemates and start socialising more and more. And if someone invites you to like a house party, just go. Even if you feel incredibly anxious, you may still end up chatting to someone, even if you're there scrolling on the weather app for about 30 minutes. You know, you may strike up a conversation with someone and you may have a good time. So who knows. And number 1, actually just go around and explore your campus and explore the buildings and actually find out what's about, because when I was at uni I had no idea where anything was. I maybe went to about 3 different rooms and I had no idea what else was around, and being in arts uni there were probably so many different like workshops and creative studios and rooms for me to explore and use, which I never did. So definitely just explore what your university actually offers and see what's in the building, because you may discover really great things. So that I think would be my advice for uni. And don't quit. That's also a big one. Don't do that. And Miller Smith asks, what products do you use for your hair and what type of hair do you have? Now I was actually thinking of doing a full-on video or maybe a short about this and my hair. So the main product that I use is called Wavy. You might have actually seen some advertising for this. They seem to really heavily advertise on Instagram. So yeah, I've been using Wavy for a couple of years now, maybe. I don't know how long, but I am subscribed to their 6-week shipping. So every 6 weeks I get a new like product of Wavy for my hair. And simply all I do, like wet my hair every morning. Before I actually use Wavy, I do use this Curl Reviver mousse. I have no idea what the brand is, but I think with hair products you really have to like sort of mix and match to find what product works best for you, just because curly hair, wavy hair requires all different sorts of needs, care and attention. So yeah, so wet my hair, damp it, dry it a little bit so it's just not soaking wet but still damp enough. Then I put in the Curl Mousse Reviver, make sure that's all my hair, and then I apply the wavy cream. So with the Curl Reviver I get like a dollop, a nice dollop, and then with the Wavy I get like a small little splodge, mix that into the hands, mix all around, and then you just apply it to the hair. So you just really want to get it all around, sort of like really get into the roots of your hair, and then like extend it from the roots to the tips as well, so that you like really cover all the lengths of your hair. So it's not just like the top shell of your hair that gets covered in product. And then you leave it for about, well, okay, before you leave it, you sort of style it how you want it. So what I do is I scrunch, and then I sort of twirl the top of my hair, so I can sort of emphasise the curls a bit more, so they hold a little bit better. And then I let that dry, and then after an hour or so, your hair will become quite hard, and it'll look kind of weird, but it's meant to go hard. So when it does go hard, you can then scrunch it again, and then this will break the product and make your hair look kind of nice and fluffy and full of life. So yeah, that's just my hair routine and the products I use. Oh, and my hair type. I don't actually know what my hair type is. I think I'm around the 2B mark, maybe. I've never actually looked too much into it, so maybe 2B. Yeah, we'll just go 2B. Cameron Nelson Tice asks, are you gay or straight? Get right to the point. And I'm straight. I am straight. NN8989 asks, do you have any cool party tricks or like hidden talents? I wouldn't say I have any party tricks or hidden talents. I can do this with my thumb. I don't really know if you call that a party trick or talent, but yeah, I can do that. Oh, bit weird, my toes are kind of like hands, so I can really easily like pick up stuff, and I can like do a thumbs up with my toes, which have grossed out my friends a little bit, so I guess that's a party trick. Although I wouldn't get my feet out at a random party, so yeah. XYSBLL asks, hey Ethan, glad you're back. I was wondering if you could do another What's on My Phone video. I really enjoyed your last one, and I'm curious to see how you designed your Pixel Pro. Great video idea. I really should do a follow-up, although maybe not now because my phone is a mess. Like, my apps are all over the place, so I think I would really like to sort of organise it. I think that's a good excuse to start getting me to organise my phone, so I could do a video on it and show you guys around what's on my phone. So great video idea. Alejandro asks, any new vinyls in your collection? Now, I can't remember the last time I did do a vinyl collection video. I haven't bought any vinyls recently at all. I think the last one that I added to my collection was Scaring the Hose by JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown. I did get that on vinyl. And I did get Genesis Owusu, the Struggler album, but I don't know if I showed that. Maybe I should do an updated record collection. Just go through all of them again, sort of like with the shoe collections, because I've added no new ones, but just to go over some old favourites could be quite fun. I would like to get more. I would love to get. I think I stopped getting the vinyls just because I stopped playing them on my record player, so I felt there was kind of no need to buy them. But there's some albums I would love to have on vinyl. Like I said, like I mentioned multiple times, you get Lee Dixon's Magic Alive, Little Sims, Lotus. That's why I need to get Little Sims' Grey Area, because Grey Area is my favourite album from her, so I really need to get that on vinyl. And a couple of others probably that I need to pick up. Lovely Amigo ASMR asks, how do you get to be successful? Oh, how do I get to be successful as you are? Are there any tips you can give to small creators like me who've been struggling a lot to grow? Love your videos, by the way, dude. I've been watching you for a while, and I'm so happy you're back. Well, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for calling me successful. I really appreciate that. You know, I still don't. I guess no, I do. Very happy with where the channel's been. Of course, success is always, you know, a growing measurement. So, you know, I have achieved success, but there's always greater success to achieve. You know, but I always find giving tips to smaller channels kind of hard, just because it sounds crazy, but I don't actually know myself what really boosted the channel. I think maybe it's sort of just finding what you love doing, not particularly following what you see other big creators doing. You can do, you know, I definitely did that, you know, shoe collection videos. Matty Dingles was the pioneer of shoe collection videos. You know, he was the main man for them, and I did them in inspiration, and you know, that really did start to kickstart my channel. So you can definitely follow ideas from other creators, different sort of ongoing series, and incorporate them into your channel. But just really, it's really cliche, but just be yourself. People love a smile for the personality behind it, and if you're just yourself, there's more for people to connect to and enjoy from your content. So honestly, it's such a cliched and kind of obvious answer, and I'm sure you already are yourself, and so there's no need to do this, but please just be yourself and just love what you do instead of forcing it upon yourself, if that makes sense. So yeah, success comes in different like ways and paces, so you know, don't think of falling behind at all. There's room for everyone. So hopefully, I know I don't really give the best advice when it comes to channels, but hopefully there's something to take away from it. Vicatron asks, thanks for doing a Q&A once again. So nice to see you pop up again. Thank you. You owe us nothing, but I'm very excited to see all the fun ideas you've been brewing up. I would love to see, sorry, let me just go back. Where was I? I would love to see, sorry, I can't speak right now. I would love to know what it's like working for such a big company. Brackets, I'm sure I'm at the older end of your demographic, but I've only ever worked for small companies in my life, so I find that very intriguing. Great question. What is it like working for such a big company? One of, if not the biggest companies in the world, that being Amazon. It's interesting because obviously I can't compare it to working at a smaller company, because I've never worked for a smaller company. Of course I've worked in hospitality, but I guess you can't really compare that to, you know, a small corporate work environment. But anyways, working at Amazon, the word that comes to mind is frustrating. There definitely are good elements, but for the system that Amazon has made, it's quite hard to incorporate your working style into it, because it is such a moulded working ecosystem, and you as a worker, an employee, you can't break away from that thinking, the ways of working, the ways of thinking, you know, always following the leadership principles in whatever case. And of course there's reason to follow him, there's reason why this sort of work environment is practiced, because it works. There's you know, there's a system, of course it works. But for me, I just can't work like that, the way that Amazon has structured their working. And so yeah, it's very frustrating, and when you're in such a big company, it feels like the work you do is almost meaningless, in a sense that what I was doing didn't really matter too much to the business as a whole, and I had no influence. Obviously, you know, I was an apprenticeship. Like, of course, why did my work really have any influence or meaning? But you know, it just kind of felt that the work, I wasn't motivated as much to complete my work, which was a shame. But yeah, you know, the upsides to it though is that there are such amazing working professionals, and there are so much to learn from the people working there. The way that people think there is incredibly like smart, intellectual. Like the people working there are great at what they do, but the people working there only know how to think in the way of Amazon thinking, that when presented with different agencies or external suppliers, there's this weird communication barrier, and there's a stark difference in the ways things are thought about and the way things are communicated, or what have it. So yeah, it's just a little ego working system bubble that I just couldn't quite, you know, fill up myself. So yeah, very long, overly explained answer, but hopefully they give a bit of a picture of what it's like working at a bigger company. Thank you for the question. Transformer Duck asks, what's your favourite K-pop demon hunters song. So unfortunately, I haven't actually watched K-pop Demon Hunters. I do know it is widely popular, but unfortunately I can't answer because I haven't got around to seeing it yet. Lunaris asks, will you ever do a reading thirst comments / DMs video? Or what have you been your experiences reacting to those kinds of comments and messages? I want to contextualise by saying that I really enjoy watching celebrities react to thirst tweets, even though they seem like the producers often pick the most PG-13 ones. I know that Twitter, X, is a wild place, even though I don't use it myself. I also love when my favourite content creators share the craziest DMs or read their community's wildest confessions. While it can be traumatising for them, it is incredibly fun for us, at least for me, providing a second-hand mix of drama, cringe and concern. Great context to the question there. Really insightful question, I think. So the actual concept of reading a thirst comments / DMs video, I think, is really interesting. I don't know how I would go about doing it, because I would have to find, obviously, get a collection of the comments, so it may take me a little bit to actually get around to doing the video, but honestly, that's such a great concept that I've already written it down into my notes page for a future video, so who knows, maybe sometime in the future we will actually be getting a reading my thirst comments / DMs video. But overall, the experience and reaction that I have from a content creator standpoint, it's very hard to gauge tone. And I never know, because I don't know the people commenting these comments. I don't know their intention or their tone behind said message. So most of the time I do take it as it's just, having a bit of fun and nothing serious. But in the past I have had some instances where it's people have been quite aggressive about it in terms of trying to flirt, and it's explicit things being sent to my way, which is very uncalled for, and no one should ever be sending anything explicit to content creators. I think most of the time, though, maybe comments shouldn't be outright flirtatious towards a content creator, because we're human. We don't know human intent. We don't know the intent behind the person sending it, and so it can be quite scary, I guess, or worrying. I think most of the time when contacting a content creator, it should be commemorating them on the content, or just saying you love the content and whatnot. Being flirtatious about it, I think it may be stepping a boundary. I've always found it a bit funny when it comes to those comments and whatnot. Apologies. I can't really have too much else to say about it. Groover Boxer Music asks, cool to have you back, Ethan. My question is, what are your top 5 electronic music artists? Well, I don't think I have a top 5, just because I don't know 5 electronic music artists, but number 1 would be Justice. Justice are my favourite electronic music duo. Breakbot, another French music artist, electronic music artist, Breakbot, some fantastic music. I guess you can put Charlie XCX in that group as well. She has a lot of electronic music. I think Daft Punk you could have in there as well, what seems to be the grandfathers of electronic. And the problem is, when it comes to electronic music, I kind of listen to just individual songs rather than the whole artist discography, so we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at the top 4, unfortunately. Keenan Chance asks, can you do an American accent? Love yours, by the way. No, I can't do an American accent. I could try to embarrass myself now, but I'll save the humiliation after the last video. But who knows? I'll write it down one. It'll just be cringe. FAH channel 00 asks, do you have any siblings? I do. I have a sister, an older sister, 2 years older. Krabakai 3MD asks, are you single? And video idea, play Clash Royale. So no, I'm not single. I do have a partner, and playing Clash Royale. I know how incredibly popular Clash Royale is. Again, obviously you got Jinxie playing it. Going over from Rainbow Six to Clash Royale. All my mates are playing it. I'm not a Clash Royale player. However, it could be interesting to see a noob play Clash Royale. So if you guys would like to see that, then maybe we can sort something out. Will1333 asks, what is the story behind your channel name? Now, great question, because I feel like it can be quite a confusing name to a lot of people outside of England or the UK in general. So, the name BTEC. So, a BTEC is a level of qualification you can get here in the UK. You take it alongside your A levels. So, you do a BTEC when you're aged 16 to 18. There's a lot of different BTECs you can take, so I took mine in business. And the thing about BTECs is that they are seen of lesser quality than, say, A levels. A levels are seen as like the general standard that you do as a qualification before you go to university, and BTECs are sort of seen as the stupid qualification. But I think BTECs are really useful. I found my BTEC bit in business to be a lot more applicable in real life than the A levels I took. So there's that. And so they're kind of joked and made fun of about if the people that take them are sort of like mimicked in a way. So, and so a common joke within the UK is if something is of lesser quality than something else. Say there was a film that came out and there was a remake, you would say, oh, it's the BTEC version. So the BTEC version is a common joke in the UK to describe something of lesser quality. And so I thought, being the comedian that I am, I thought I would name myself BTEC ASMR, because starting out my content was of lower quality and I had no expectation for my channel, so I just named it BTEC ASMR. And the word BTEC is a pretty good trigger word, so it kind of made sense for the video introduction to go, go. So yeah, that's just kind of how the channel name came about. It's just an overly complicated inside UK joke, pretty much. hopefully that explains it. Moon asks, hey BTEC, here's my question. Would you consider making more soft-spoken or ramble videos in the future? Definitely. I think soft-spoken videos are great. I think maybe for some role plays we can do more soft-spoken, which could be pretty good, and more rambles in the future. Definitely, I will have probably a couple of ramble updates within the coming weeks, which will be quite interesting, so keep your eyes out for them. Any plans to reopen your Discord or Patreon sometimes? So when it comes to the Discord, I think we can leave that as it is. I'm not a Discord user, and I just don't find myself using Discord. So when it comes to the channel and the extra channels involved, I think I want to keep it to the channels that I use daily, and ones I know that I will actually use to keep the community engaged and whatnot. Discord just isn't for me, unfortunately. Again, for the Patreon is a no, but other things in the future might be about. Are you thinking of streaming again anytime soon? I have been thinking about streaming, probably not this month, but I would love to maybe start streaming again next month. Now, the streaming would be a regular occurrence, or it could be, depending on how much time I have. I should be having a bit of spare time on my hands for the next couple of years, to be fair. Well, not a lot of spare time, but anyways, more than what I had the last year, let's just say that. So streaming, I definitely think, will make a comeback. The problem is, well, not the problem is, but the thing is, I'm trying to think about, do I want to keep it ASMR? Do I want to do gaming streams? Where do I want to stream? Twitch, YouTube. I'm starting to think more about just keeping everything to YouTube. So just keeping streams to YouTube might be better. Because I do think people on the channel, I do remember putting out a poll, and people said they do watch streams on YouTube past year been for you? Busy, tiring, stressful. What made you decide to come back? So yeah, as I said, just wanting to reconnect with all of you and just being creatively deprived. Do you feel your work over the past year has changed you in any way? Great question. I think it has. It's made me think a lot more about myself, what I want to do, how I want to go about doing it, and just made me appreciate more things in life like this channel has made me appreciate what I had so much more. I've learned a lot from work, my time at Amazon, so really grateful about that. So yeah, I definitely think I have grown and changed a bit more as a person, for better, for worse, who knows. I think it's more of like a neutral stage more than anything, but yeah, great questions, thank you very much. Cameron asks, from your time at Amazon, what are some of the most memorable items you've encountered? Alright, I think there's been a little bit of confusion. So I work in the corporate office, so I don't work in the warehouses, so I don't see the items, I don't see people's products, unfortunately. I do remember there was an issue with some of the meta ads showing explicit items one time because it's an automated system. So yeah, there was some non-family friendly items being advertised, which was quite funny. They got taken down very promptly, however. So yeah, just funny. Julesip asks, hello BTech, I hope you're doing well. Here are my questions. What have you been up to during this time off working? Do you plan to continue recording on the channel? Of course. And what are your favourite ASMR triggers? Sending much love from Brazil. Well, thank you so much. In terms of my favourite ASMR triggers, I'm a very simple man. I just love a good whisper ramble and tapping. Whisper ramble, tapping on anything really is my bread and butter. I absolutely love it. Could skip that one. Steffi asks, so cool you're back. Could you please do a Bob Ross tutorial, please? I wonder why I've asked that. I think maybe it can be a Halloween, maybe special, bit of dress up, painting here and there, bit of planning would be involved. We'll see. It's not a promise, but we'll see. And the last question is by Marius. Asks, do you listen to girly pop music perchance? Well, if you count Clairo, she could be girly pop. Charlie XCX, I listen to her. She's typically known for the girls and the gays, so I guess that counts as girly pop. There's some K-pop that I guess I do listen to. Less Seraphim I listen to. I don't listen to Sabrina, however, in terms of typical girly pop like Sabrina, Taylor Swift, no, I did try listening to some of Sabrina's new songs. Not my cup of tea, unfortunately, not my cup of tea. It just sounds very uninspired, unfortunately. It sounds very formulaic. The producers of that album have seen formulas for pop music and basically made a whole album out of it, and yeah, not good. So those are all of the questions, so thank you all for submitting your questions. It's been an absolute pleasure answering them. This is a hefty video, so hopefully you've enjoyed the whispers, you've enjoyed the questions, you've enjoyed the answers, and yeah, I just want to appreciate you all for staying to the end. If you have, of course, if you've drifted off, that is the point, so hopefully you're not even hearing this. So I just want to just spread all the love, all the thanks, and I'll see you guys in the next one.